What's up, everybody? This is Steve from Bloom Audio. Today, we're going to talk about some of the latest releases from HIFIMAN. HIFIMAN is best known for their planar magnetic headphones, which tend to provide a really, fast, clean, technical sound with great sense of space and imaging, and to deliver those headphones at a pretty surprising price. They're also known for doing somewhat hard to understand lineup updates, swapping out technology here and there, stealth revisions to headphones that add the stealth technology, and all kinds of other stuff. So we're going to specifically hone in on their releases from 2023, including the Ananda Nano, Arya Organic, HE1000 V3, and the Svanar, which is a totally new IEM from HIFIMAN, and along with the Svanar Wireless. So let's take a closer look. Up first, we have the Ananda Nano. So Ananda is traditionally been kind of the in-between headphone for HIFIMAN. They have a couple budget options like the HE400 and the Sundara, even the Edition XS. And Ananda kind of stands just below the Arya, which is where their more flagship top-tier headphones begin, stands between those and the more budget options, offering a little bit more in terms of the build quality and design, and also the sound performance. So Nano is the latest update to that. It adds some visual flair, moving away from the all black headphones to this aluminum finish on these. It also integrates the stealth magnets and the nanometer thickness diaphragms, which are two of HIFIMAN's kind of core flagship technology that they've brought down through their whole headphone lineup. In terms of specs, Ananda Nano has 14 ohm impedance and 94 dB sensitivity, and weight comes in just under a pound at 14.8 ounces. In terms of tuning, Ananda is a little bit different from a lot of the other HIFIMAN headphones, because even though it does have some of those, the crisp highs and other key characteristics, Ananda does tend a little bit warmer. There's a little bit more musicality in here, and if you've tried HIFIMAN headphones like the HE400 and found they were too bright, you might find the Ananda really hits that spot for you in between a warmer sound from a brand like Meze and the brighter sound of most HIFIMAN headphones. So Ananda Nano costs $599. And again, the two key aspects here, one is that slightly warmer sound than your typical HIFIMAN headphone. That price is obviously great, keeping it under $1,000 in HIFIMAN's lineup and these kinds of headphones that can go up to $6,000. And it's also very easy to drive. So if you need an option, you're looking for a planar magnetic headphone, it's going to sound great with mobile devices, especially if you can upgrade the cable to a balanced cable. Ananda is a great pick. We have a full review that you can check out also on our YouTube channel, and we'll link to that in our notes as well. Next up, we have Arya Organic. Like Ananda Nano, this is one that brings both some visual changes, like the addition of this, wood grain strip here, along with some changes to the sound. Both Ananda Nano and Arya Organic are really just a refinement of the sound. It's not a lot different from previous revisions. The main thing with Arya Organic, it brings back some of the brightness of the original, loses a little bit of the warmth of the stealth revision, but I find it to be a balance between the two in terms of having some of those characteristic, the airiness that comes with a little bit more treble presence, but not fully losing the bass extension and impact that came with the original stealth revision. In terms of specs, Arya Organic has 16 ohm impedance and 94 dB sensitivity. Weight is just about a pound at 15.5 ounces. Arya costs $1,299. What you're getting as an upgrade from Nano is much more spacious sound, faster, more technical performance, and then just some improvements to the physical build of the headphone and comfort as well. So if you check these out side by side, you can see this basically only has the 1 point of articulation with the size and this. So there's not a ton of adjustment that you can do when you're getting this on your head. Arya Organic, clearly just in your hand, it feels better. Has a little bit more of a sturdy build. It also has more articulation and more options to really get a solid fit on your head and a great seal. That seal aspect can be a big deal with the swivel piece here. Because Nano doesn't have that swivel, some people may find it hard to get that angle just right, or they may feel the clamp is not applied correctly. So Arya gives you, again, those build quality factors, also a number of technical factors in the improvement there: imaging, sound stage, and clarity. Ananda Nano still is a little bit more sensitive, a little easier to drive off your mobile devices, even though Arya Organic is driven surprisingly well by a number of sources. This is going to give you a little bit more of a warm sound as well. So you do have a couple options here, and you could probably justify if the brightness on this is bothering you and you don't have a source like a tube amp or an R2R DAC that's going to deal well with that. There's definitely an argument to be made for the Nano, purely on that, warmer, smoother sound if you prefer that. But Arya Organic, from a technical performance perspective, it's just a huge step up from what Nano does. With Arya Organic and Ananda Nano, you can really clearly see those delineations between, the Arya V3 or the Ananda Stealth Edition and the new versions, both visually and in terms of the sound and features. If you do a comparison, HE1000 V3 is a little bit tougher. Now, HE1000 launched as HIFIMAN's flagship headphone, I don't say 8 or 9 years ago at this point, and they've done a number of revisions. There's the V2, the HE1000 SE, and now the V3, which adds the stealth magnets to the V2. In terms of specs, HE1000 V3 has 32 ohm impedance and 93 dB sensitivity. This one also comes in over a pound at about 16.2 ounces. Technically, the list price on the HE1000 V3 is about $2,000, but it's been put on a kind of a permanent sale at $1,399, which makes it only $100 more expensive than the Arya. And your choice here is going to be a little bit more complicated than the choice between the Arya and the Ananda. In terms of technical performance, HE1000 V3 and Arya Organic are pretty close, and this is going to be a little more down to preference. HE1000 V3 is a little closer in tuning to that Arya Stealth, which had a little bit more of that low-end presence. I'm not going to say warmth, really, just feeling like that tonal balance was less emphasized in the highs and more linear throughout, giving you a stronger extension, stronger presence throughout the bass, with a little bit of that characteristic HIFIMAN treble. Main advantage here is, I think, a slight technical edge in the imaging, in the detail retrieval, and that, again, just slightly more balanced sound to my ears, where if you find that Arya Organic is a little bit too bright, HE1000 V3 is going to come in with a little more balance, a little less focus in the treble. This kind of always felt to me like a baby Svanar. If you want the Svanar sound, but not quite the Svanar sound, at a fraction of the price, HE1000 is going to be the closest way to get there, especially with this new V3 update. While they're best known for their planar magnetic headphones, HIFIMAN has put out some pretty solid products using dynamic drivers, and the Svanar is the latest. It's an IEM. It uses a 9.2 millimeter, what they call a topology dynamic driver in here. And basically, it's in a lot of ways, a very un-HIFIMAN product. It's a very natural sounding, slightly warm IEM. And again, it uses dynamic driver, not the planars they're best known for. And it really comes across as, just an excellent, detailed, highly natural, just really strong if you like the single dynamic driver sound and want one that delivers, good bit of neutrality with also just enough emphasis in the bass to keep things fun. Svanar does a great job of that. In terms of specs, the impedance on Svanar is a surprising 60 ohms, which means that you can actually hook this up to some pretty powerful amps and get some really good results out of this. Svanar does like being hit hard with a powerful amp. The sensitivity is 100 dB. So again, it's in between there, where many of HIFIMAN's planar products are known for having that sort of lower sensitivity, but also fairly low impedance. Svanar is higher sensitivity, but also higher impedance, which gives you quite a bit of versatility with that. Last headphone we're going to talk about today is the Svanar Wireless. So Svanar Wireless uses some of the same tech from that Svanar IEM. Now, HIFIMAN doesn't disclose the specific driver in here. It seems to be a similar driver, but not the exact same driver as is used in their sort of flagship IEM model. Some of the highlights on Svanar Wireless. Now, again, we did a full review on these. You can check the notes for some links to videos and written reviews on almost everything here, except for the HE1000 V3. It uses an R2R DAC, which is pretty unique in the wireless space. These honestly are among the best sounding wireless IEMs I've ever heard in terms of the detail, the overall presentation, that you're kind of just forgetting that you're listening to a Bluetooth TWS. Svanar Wireless is definitely one of my favorites in this TWS space in terms of condensing a flagship IEM experience down into a pocket-sized or almost pocket-sized experience. I don't know that anyone's done it better than HIFIMAN has with the Svanar. Now, there are a number of other HIFIMAN headphones out there worth checking out. I mentioned the Susvara, along with the Sundara, Sundara Closed, Edition XS, HE400. There's just a ton of stuff out there, but we wanted to highlight, again, these key new products as HIFIMAN goes through this sort of constant refreshing and updating of their lineup. Definitely check out our reviews, more info on bloomaudio.com. And if you check out our notes, go through our YouTube channel, we have reviews on a number of these and other HIFIMAN products you can check out. So be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more high fidelity audio content.